Greetings everyone, welcome to this video. My name is JJ O'Brien from Education Cannabis Education Inc. I am here today in my beautiful backyard. It's a lovely muggy day. I reside in Cambridge, Ontario, Canada. I am a certified cannabis health coach and educator. I am a chartered herbalist and I'm also a cancer survivor, thanks in part to my utilization of medicinal cannabis. One of the ways that I did utilize this cannabis was via suppository, and I'm here today to show you how to make suppositories 4 different ways. Now, before we get started, we need to understand a little bit about our medicine that we're going to be using. And what we use in these cannabis suppositories is a full extract cannabis oil. I'm going to show that to you a little bit here. Full extract cannabis oil. This is a 5-gram syringe of a full extract cannabis oil that I picked up from my amazing compassionate provider at laughinggrass.online, which I highly recommend. This is a full extract cannabis oil that is THC rich. That's a 6-to-1 formulation. That means 6 parts THC, 1 part CBD. Welcome, Blue Jay. And this is the medicine that we'll be using to formulate our suppository today. Now, this is the most important thing that you need to get started. And then next, what you're going to need to do is decide which method is going to be most appropriate for you. What are you most comfortable with? It's really your choice. And that is the beauty of being empowered in your medicine and in your healing. So there's 4 different ways that I make suppositories. Now, you can make them traditionally in the medical grade papers mold. This is a 2.3 gram suppository mold that I picked up from a company in Quebec and got a great deal on. I'll put the details in the description below about where you can pick those up. You can also make a freeform mold suppository by just using a silicone mold. This is one that I really like to use. It's a cone-shaped mold that I picked up on Amazon. And the beauty of this is it's a perfect shape for insertion. It's fat on one end that can hold your finger, skinny on the other end, easy to pop right in there. And if that is a little bit too big or uncomfortable for you, there's these smaller coffee bean suppository molds, silicone molds that I use for suppositories, these little coffee bean molds that you can utilize as well to make a little bit smaller suppository. Third way that you can make cannabis suppositories is directly into a vegan capsule. This makes it great for transporting when you are traveling or anything like that. I have recently heard that this might not be the best method just because of the gelatin capsules breaking down inside the colon. I haven't done all the research yet, so I would suggest that you do some if that is the method that you're choosing. I think this is fine in a pinch, maybe not essential, like the best for everyday use, but good in a pinch or when you're traveling, things like that. Vegan capsules. Excuse me. Third way that you can build your suppositories is directly into a syringe. And this is a Luer Lock needleless syringe that you can pick up from Amazon. This is a 1 gram syringe here. And you can just build your suppository directly. And the great thing about these is you can formulate the dose, like correct dose for whatever your needs are. If you're only taking like 3/4 of a gram or half a gram or a full gram, you can measure your dose accurately with these syringes. I want to talk a little bit about insertion of suppositories while I'm here, because we know that you want to only go about an inch and a half into the rectum. Your sphincter muscle, that first sphincter muscle, you can pretty much grab that suppository and it's going to squeeze it right up into your colon. So you don't want to be pushing syringes too far. You don't want to be pushing this fully up into the colon. Don't want to be going too far. Don't want to be potentially hitting any type of liver activity where when cannabis is ingested and bypassed through the liver, it goes through a first pass metabolism, which converts the THC molecule to a larger, more potent molecule, 11-hydroxy-THC, which is why edibles tend to hit harder and last longer. So we don't want to go too far into the rectum, because if you are a person that is utilizing suppositories to avoid the euphoric effects of THC, then you don't want to do that. So let's talk a little bit about that, about why people tend to utilize suppositories. Because one of the main reasons is because you bypass that first pass metabolism through the liver and you avoid the euphoric effects or the high feeling that comes with THC. Some people enjoy it, some people do not, especially people who have had no experience with cannabis in their lives and are coming to the medicine because of a health crisis or something like that. And sometimes there is some fear behind the unknown of what an experience of being high would be like. So, of course, we don't want to be feeling uncomfortable or anything like that. So, suppositories are a great way to bypass first pass metabolism. It also runs along meridians that go through your lung to your brain, which is great for anybody like myself who is diagnosed with stage 4 non small cell lung cancer that often metastasizes to the brain. So, running along that meridian was an ideal route of intake for myself. Anybody dealing with a prostate, a colon cancer, a vaginal, like cervical, ovarian cancer, anything in this region, suppositories are direct action at getting the medicine right where it needs to go. So these are ideal. Another reason why people tend to use suppositories is for increased bioavailability. What does that mean? That means that your body is absorbing more of the medicine, even more if you were ingesting it. It's actually 70 to 80% more bioavailable via suppository than it is via ingestion. These are the numbers that I have heard, and that's what I'm relaying to you. So, let's talk about making suppositories. So it's really, really simple. Once you decide your format, okay, we're going to use these. So that's all out the window. Let's use these today. And what you're going to need is some organic, always, always organic, either organic cocoa butter or some organic cacao butter, whichever you prefer. I love the cacao butter. This cocoa butter I bought, I just got an amazing deal on it, so I had to pick it up. And you are going to measure out the amount that you need, and I'm going to put the math in the description because I'm not great at explaining math. So I will explain it in the description below. Make sure to check that out. So, but a very simple, if a 1 gram syringe of FECO is 1,000 milligrams and you make 10 suppositories, they're going to be 100 milligrams each. So there's some simple math explained, but I'll put the rest in the chat like I said. So once you decide how many suppositories you're going to want at what dosage, then you're going to weigh out your cacao or your cocoa butter, and you're going to just weigh it out with your little scale here. Then I like to use a metal cup. I have these that I picked up. They're kind of like milk frothers for cappuccino, but they work really great. So I use these for my formulations for melting cacao butter. So you're going to want to melt it, and I use a coffee warmer to do so. I have my coffee warmer. I put my metal cup on there, and then I melt my cacao butter or cocoa butter into it. Once my cocoa or cacao butter is melted, I'm going to add my medicine. I'm going to add my FECO. Now, when this FECO is at room temperature in the syringe, it's going to be quite hard to get it out. So what you're going to want to do, boil the kettle, fill a cup of hot water, and then just put this over top like that. And then just let it sit there, and it will soften, it will liquefy a little bit better for you so that you can work with it. And then you will just directly put your FECO into the melted cocoa cacao butter. You're going to stir it up real good. And then you're going to use a pipette, just a little squeeze dropper. And you're going to use your pipette to just, pick it up, put it right into the suppository molds. You're going to do that as well for the capsules. Do that as well for the freeform molds. If you're using the suppositories, you're just going to be sucking that right up directly like that. And there you go. Another thing about insertion that I have heard some people do is because you only want to go about an inch and a half at the most, some people tend to put a little elastic band around the 0.3, 0.4 mark of the syringe so that when you insert it, you kind of feel it, you know that's your stopping point, and then you can just push your plunger and insert the medicine that way. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can share with you about making suppositories. It's a very, very simple practice. You're really just melting your cacao butter, adding your medicine, and then putting it into your mold. If you're using these molds, the silicone molds, you want to put them into the fridge or freezer directly after. so that they can harden, and once they do, you're going to want to keep them in the fridge or freezer to keep them stable. These suppositories, this version can be kept at room temperature, capsules as well, and these suppository molds I think would be ideal in the fridge as well. But they all are good for traveling. You just want to make sure they're not getting too hot and then melting on you. So that's it. Very simple way to make suppositories. It's really only 2 ingredients, your cacao, cocoa butter, and your FECO, your medicine. Again, laughinggrass.online makes excellent, very, very clean medicine. I highly recommend. That is where I get mine. That's what I use for myself and for my patients. So I hope that you learned something. I hope that this video was helpful. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. Feel free to send us an email at educanationinc@gmail.com if you have any questions. Being a cancer survivor, I became very passionate about learning everything that I could about cannabis so that I could share it with the masses. If you are somebody who has been diagnosed with cancer or some other traumatic illness and you would like to learn how cannabis can support you in your healing, then please reach out to us at educanationinc@gmail.com. You can check out our website, educanation.info, for more information. Again, I hope this video helped you. Happy healing.